and alerting you to weather danger. This is KTXS News at 5.
I'm KTXS reporter in the studio. Mayor Weldon Hurt delivered his first State of the City address since he was elected mayor of Abilene. Many community leaders spoke, including the city manager, the Taylor County judge, and superintendents from Wiley and Abilene ISD. The city highlighted key items at the address, including street maintenance. They said 29% of Abilene streets have been reconstructed or improved. Some other topics of discussion were the future of the water supply, the Rebuild ABI program, and the city's Cypress Street Improvement Project.
So we had a bond package in 2015, and then in 2018 we implemented the street maintenance fee. Since that time in 2018, we spent about $33.9 million of this designated fee on street maintenance. And the thing that I'm proud of on the designated fee is it can only be used for street maintenance. We cannot take that money, put it back into the general fund. So your street maintenance fee is doing what it really needs to do. That's fix and repair roads. We'll have a deeper look into this address tonight on KTXS News at 6. Plus, you can watch that full address on the KTXS YouTube channel. The City of Clyde held a special City Council meeting Tuesday morning. After an executive session, the council unanimously agreed to sign a letter of intent for the sale of land to a power data company. The interim city administrator, Roger Brown, says while the company is very excited about the sale of this land, they do still have some details to iron out. He says the land sold to the power data company is east of the city's water treatment plant on County Road 275 in Clyde.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city administrator to sign the letter of intent regarding the development agreement and purchase and sale agreement, and authorize the city secretary to, and sale agreement with International Power Data Incorporated, and authorize the city secretary to publish notice of said agreement.
Hello everyone, we had a lot of clouds develop here over the course of the day. This is behind a cold front that swept through much of the area. These clouds are going to hang tough for tonight. That cold front has pushed through most of the region, but it's already stalling out, and it's actually going to move back to the north as a warm front overnight, opening the door for warm air to race right back in. So for many of us, steady temperatures are ahead. Possibly some sprinkles in our area tomorrow morning. So for Abilene, temperatures are fairly steady. Readings around 57 at 7 o'clock, and we actually look to warm up to around 61 by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So yes, warming temperatures and cloudy skies ahead for tonight.
I'm Brenna Gibbons. In Crime Watch, the Nolan County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding an alleged thief. Sunday, the Nolan County Sheriff's Office responded to a call of a theft at a Dollar General in Roscoe. Deputies say a suspect described as white male, mid to late 20s, wearing dark clothes, fled the scene in a truck there on your screen. If you know who this truck belongs to or have information regarding this theft, you are asked to call the Roscoe Police Department. The Abilene Police Department are looking for potential victims of an alleged child predator. Last weekend, Abilene police pulled over this man, 50-year-old Luis Diaz Jr. of Abilene, because he has an active warrant for failing to register as a sex offender. His initial offense was for indecency with a child. In his car, police found a box with several electronic devices with significant amounts of disturbing sexual images involving minors. Diaz was taken to the Taylor County Jail and charged with possession of child pornography. If you have any information or may have had contact with Diaz, you're asked to call the Abilene Police Department Cybercrimes Division. The Tom Green County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 women on drug possession charges. According to the Tom Green Sheriff's Office, 38-year-old Amanda Burney and 46-year-old Phoebe Thomerson were arrested Friday after deputies found meth in a stolen car at the house on West 17th and San Angelo. Burney and Thomerson were arrested and charged with possession of controlled substance. Officials are still investigating this case, and additional charges are possible. The Abilene Police Department will continue its increased traffic enforcement through 2025. The increased enforcement is an effort to change driving habits of Abilene drivers. This will focus on several areas in the city, including the Winters Freeway and South First Corridor. Officers will be looking for speeding, distracted drivers, seatbelts, and child restraint violations, as well as intoxicated drivers. The San Angelo City Council has approved a $41 million bond election for May. Today, the City Council approved a $41 million bond election for renovations at the Coliseum. The proposed upgrades to the 66-year-old facility will include doubling seating capacity, club-level seating, skyboxes, among other things. Some council members voiced concerns about the timing of the bond, citing the school district's expected bond call of $397 million for improvements, also in May. The Cisco Fire Department was kept busy over the weekend. The Viper 3 fire broke out Saturday afternoon near South Highway 206. Several fire departments, law enforcement agencies, and the Texas Department of Public Safety assisted in getting the fire out before it reached any buildings or homes. Chief Walter Fairbanks says that above normal temperatures, high winds, and very dry fuels helped spread the fire. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Coming up on KTXS News at 5.
Israel's prime minister is in Washington this week. We break down his consequential meeting with President Donald Trump.
Born. Like KTXS on Facebook.
With Valentine's Day right around the corner, the Abilene Zoo is celebrating with Woo at the Zoo. Couples and families can purchase a Woo at the Zoo Valentine's Day package for February 15th. The zoo says this is a one-of-a-kind experience that includes zoo admission, a private animal encounter, giraffe feeding, and coffee or hot cocoa. Tickets are available online with limited spots for availability. Dyess Air Force Base will be having their first ever Dyess vs. Special Olympics basketball event. It will be on January 31st at the Dyess Air Force Base. They say this event will strengthen relationships between the base and local community.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Continued peace in the Middle East could hinge on a consequential meeting taking place Tuesday in Washington.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington this week. He's the first foreign leader to visit Donald Trump since his return to the White House.
I think it's a testimony to the strength of the Israeli-American alliance. It's also a testimony to the strength of our personal friendship.
The meeting expected to focus on Iran's nuclear efforts, normalizing relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, and the fragile Gaza ceasefire as it heads into the second phase. Trump not sounding confident about the future of the ceasefire when speaking to reporters Monday.
I have no assurances that it'll hold. I have no guarantees that the peace is going to hold.
Netanyahu, meanwhile, facing internal pressure to resume fighting to wipe out Hamas completely from Gaza. Trump pressing Netanyahu, though, for reassurances the ceasefire will continue as his administration prioritizes freeing all of the hostages. We spoke with Arit Zedlekovich, neighbor of Keith Siegel, the first American hostage freed under the new agreement.
So excited. First, to know that they're alive. And people just told you not only they're alive, they're going to be back today. We really couldn't believe it.
About 42 hostages still in Gaza are believed to be alive. One of those is accomplished pianist Alon Ohel, taken from the Nova Music Festival.
We do know that he is alive, which is something and very important.
He's set to be released in Phase 2. His mom, Edith, wants to make sure Phase 2 actually happens.
I really need the help for to get across to Trump and make sure that, you know, that they're doing the right thing, and they're making sure that the hostages will come home. We need this to be over so we can continue with our lives.
Also slated to start this week, negotiations to finalize the details of Phase 2 of the three-phase ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Download the KTXS weather app today. From the Taylor Telecom Weather Center, your Storm Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowlett.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we've got cloudy skies over Abilene. We started with sunshine this morning, but those clouds have really rolled in, and I'm afraid they're going to stay with us for tonight. And there's an outside chance we could see some light sprinkles from those clouds, but basically steady to warming temperatures. It's clearing and warmer tomorrow. It's warm into Saturday, and then colder air comes back in for Saturday night. I've got the black and white imagery here on this to help pick out where those low clouds are, and they're over much of the big country, and they're going to stay with us. In fact, southern areas that are enjoying some sunshine now may have clouds fill back in overnight. We are looking at the clouds hanging out through about mid-morning, and then I think we'll see a freshening southwest wind push them out tomorrow afternoon. We're kind of in a quiet weather pattern as far as precipitation goes. Yes, maybe some sprinkles tonight, but as far as significant rainfall, that's out there on the west coast. And I think that particular system is several days away from impacting us. So after kind of a coolish day, we actually kind of warm up for tonight. Here are temperatures around 10 o'clock, well, around 50 for much of the big country, maybe near 60 in our southern areas, and temperatures will stay kind of steady, if not warm, overnight. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're looking at lower 50s here in the big country, and then tomorrow afternoon, look at that, we're right back into the low 80s across the area with nice sunshine. Weather forecast model, that cold front indeed moved into our area. Now, I have to be honest, it brought a little bit colder air than expected, but the timing was pretty much on target. And that little bit of cool air, well, it retreats back to the north overnight. Here we are with cloudy skies and south winds tomorrow morning, maybe a sprinkle in the morning, but look at that. We finished the day with sunny, warm conditions tomorrow afternoon. Some clouds are back in for Thursday morning. Here's another cold front that tries to move in Thursday afternoon. I don't think it'll get as far as this one that we're dealing with, but it could bring a slight cool down to northern parts of the big country late Thursday. And then here we are Friday morning. Maybe a little bit of a cool start to the day Friday morning with some clouds, but then that front retreats, and then we're right back to warm temperatures Friday afternoon and for Saturday. Yes, you can see some Arctic air way up there along the northern United States, and look at this bulge of cold air that just raced down towards us, and you can see ahead of it, it's almost like yesterday, temperatures in the 80s, and in the cool air, well, we've got a mixed bag. 72 in Brady, 53 in Jayton, it's 58 in Abilene with east winds at 9. Temperatures around 54 tomorrow morning, 80 tomorrow afternoon, 84 on Thursday, 85 Friday, 82 Saturday, then it's cloudy and colder.
Next on KTXS News at 5.
An alarming new threat at the southern border. I'm Christine Frizzell in Washington with what we're learning.
News, weather, and more. KTXS.com.
I'm Christine Frizzell in Washington, where we are tracking new warnings from top border officials. It appears there are concerns about the safety of border agents and military personnel at the southern border, with Mexican cartel leaders behind the threat. Mexico's pledge to send 10,000 troops to the border coming as those on this side of the border are facing new threats. The New York Post reporting on an internal memo warning Mexican cartel leaders have authorized the use of drones equipped with explosives to be used against U.S. Border Patrol agents and military personnel.
They're going to try to do what they can to make these situations where the Border Patrol gets in trouble, Border Patrol agents are hurt, they're responding to other situations so that they can then get their smuggled goods across the border.
Former ICE Director John Fabricatore says it's not about waging war, but a likely response to a loss in profits. With the rapid rise of migrants from all around the world wanting help getting to the U.S. border, it's estimated cartels made about $13 billion a year on human smuggling alone, using tunnels like this one recently discovered in El Paso.
That tunnel goes into Ciudad Juarez, comes straight from Ciudad Juarez, into El Paso sector area.
This drone, recovered from a smuggler back in 2023, contained video appearing to show cartels surveilling the movements and activity of migrants as well as Border Patrol agents. But the warnings about drone attacks could bring more urgency for the U.S. military to assist in border security efforts.
The military has, ground penetrating radar. They've got other things that they've been using over in Afghanistan to discover tunnels in Afghanistan that could be used on the border. The military also has technology to be able to knock those drones out of the air if they do come into our territory and actually hunt drones.
Since Donald Trump took office just a little more than 2 weeks ago and declared an emergency at the southern border, the number of encounters of migrants appears to have dropped dramatically, from between 1,200 and 1,400 per day during the final days of the Biden administration to between 600 and 700 a day more recently. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.
Take a look at a ballerina's incredible viral moment that is so surreal it could be AI. But believe it or not, it's not. Renowned French dancer Victoria d'Auberville was invited by an Arctic cruise ship's captain to perform the statuesque stunt on the bulging bilge beneath the ship's bow. Accompanied by photographer Matthew Forget, d'Auberville braved the icy Arctic waters to capture the stunning moment. The dreamlike video went viral on social media but was so surreal, some users were left wondering, was it for real?
Because of, the fact that there was water moving, the fact that Victoria added a little zoom in the video, all these things, so many factors made it look like AI.
So we write on the caption with no AI.
This is what Victoria tries to always do, is that bring ballet to unexpected places.
A marine mystery is unfolding in Louisiana after officials with the Shreveport Aquarium discovered a baby shark was birthed in a tank inhabited exclusively by female sharks. The aquarium says the bizarre birth could have been a case of delayed fertilization or an asexual reproductive phenomenon called parthenogenesis, which is about as easy to explain as it was to pronounce. The aquarium plans to do genetic testing to figure out some answers, but either way, it seems life found a way. Finally, a recent big birthday bash at Sea Life Melbourne in Australia celebrated 1 year of Pesto the penguin. Remember that precious puffy penguin that went viral for looking like George Costanza's woolly Russian rat hat? Well, Pesto's a kiddo no mo, and thanks to some feather molting, he looks sleek and chic in his new tux and beak, a year older and a year wiser. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Warm temperatures right on into the early part of the weekend.